Do you ever have those moments where you just wish your brain would relax for a second? Welcome to the Healing Mile. I'm Carrie, your walking bestie, and this is Season 3, the Mind series, where we're learning how to understand our thoughts, work with them, and move through our lives with more calm and clarity. Last episode in the mental reset, we focused on noticing our thoughts and stepping in instead of just letting them run on autopilot. We talked about catching that moment when your mind takes off and realizing you actually have a say in what happens next. And this week, we're taking that one step further because even when we're aware, even when we catch it, our mind is still going to move. It's still going to think. It's still going to replay things from earlier and jump ahead to what's coming next. Fill in the blanks, create stories, try to make sense of everything all at once. That is normal. What starts to feel heavy is when it feels like you have to keep up with all of it, like you have to follow every thought all the way through, or you have to land on the right answer before you can relax. So today, we're not doing that. We're not chasing every thought. We're not trying to quiet our mind down or force it to slow. We're just learning how to stay grounded while our mind does what it does. So as we start to walk, bring your attention into your body without overthinking it at all. Just notice your feet hitting the ground and let your pace settle into something steady and natural, a rhythm that just feels easy to stay with. You might notice one foot hitting slightly heavier than the other, or the way your weight shifts as you move forward. And that's all enough to just start anchoring you into this present moment. Let your arms swing comfortably at your sides. And take a second to roll your shoulders back, just enough to open your chest a little bit and create some more space in your body. Soften your jaw. Relax your face. And let your breath start to deepen naturally. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. And if your mind starts wandering already, that's okay. You're not doing this wrong. Just come back to your steps again. Come back to the feeling of your body moving forward. That feeling is always here for you. A busy mind is something we all deal with, and it shows up in ways that feel so normal that we don't always question it. You can be doing something simple like driving, walking, making coffee, getting dressed, and your mind is somewhere else entirely. It's replaying something from earlier, something someone said, something you said, something you wish you handled differently, or it jumps ahead. You start thinking about something coming up later, a conversation you might have, something you need to do, something you're unsure about, and suddenly you're playing it out in your head like it's already happening. And then it builds. One thought connects to another, and then another, and before you even realize it, you're deep in it. You're not just thinking anymore, you're inside the thoughts. And your body responds like it's real. Your breathing changes, your chest tightens a little, your energy shifts. You feel that subtle pressure like you need to do something, figure something out, or come to some kind of resolution. And the automatic response might be to think more, to follow it further, to try to land somewhere that feels certain. But what actually happens is the opposite. The more you try to solve it, the more you feed it. The faster it moves, the more directions it goes, the more it expands. And now it's not one thought anymore, it's 10, 15, 25. And then you're trying to keep up with all of them, and that's where it starts to feel overwhelming. Not because you or your brain is doing something wrong, but because you're trying to stay connected to everything it's doing at once. And most of us don't realize we have another option. We think if the thought showed up, we have to follow it. We think if it feels important, we have to solve it. We think if it's there, we have to do something about it. But we don't. We can let our minds move without going with it. And that's what we're practicing today. Our brains are always active. That part doesn't turn off. It's constantly scanning, organizing, predicting, and trying to make sense of our experiences and our environment. We've talked about that so many times. And that's its beautiful job. But it's our bodies that determine how that activity feels. When our body is tense, our thoughts feel louder and more urgent. When our body is calm, those same exact thoughts don't carry the same weight. They're still there, but they don't feel like something you have to act on immediately. And this is where most people try to go straight to the mind. They try to think their way into calm. But calm doesn't come from thinking differently first. It comes from feeling steady in your body. And when your body feels steady, your mind follows. That's why something as simple as walking is so powerful. You're giving your body that rhythm. You're giving it something predictable and grounding. Your breath starts to deepen, your steps create a pattern, and that sends a signal to your nervous system that you are okay. And when your system feels okay, your thoughts don't feel like something you have to chase or fix or solve. So here's what we're doing differently today. Instead of trying to stop your thoughts, you're letting them be there. Instead of trying to solve them, you're letting them pass. Instead of trying to control everything your mind is doing, you're focusing on staying grounded in your body. So as we continue to walk, just notice when your attention drifts. No need to judge it or fix it. I just want you to notice it. And then come back. Back to your steps, back to your breath, back to where you are right now, in this moment. And you might have to do that again and again. That's the practice. Just returning to now. Let's try this. Imagine your thoughts moving beside you, like a stream running next to a path. The water is flowing. Sometimes it moves quickly. Sometimes it slows down. Sometimes it shifts direction, but it keeps moving. And you're walking right next to it. You can see it. You can hear it. You're aware of it, but you're not in it. Your feet are still hitting the ground at a steady pace. Your breath is still moving in and out. You're still grounded. And every once in a while, your attention might drift towards the stream. You might start to lean in, start to follow a thought, start to get pulled. And when that happens, you just notice it and come back. back to your steps, back to your breath, back to your body. You don't need to jump in. You don't need to follow it downstream. You stay right where you are on the beautiful path. And as you're walking like this, staying with yourself, not chasing every thought, you might notice that there's a little more space. Your mind is still moving, but it doesn't feel as loud. And this is where we give your mind something steady to come back to. Just something consistent and grounded. Because your brain responds to what you repeat. So let these words settle in as you walk. I feel calm even when my mind is busy. I don't have to follow every thought. I stay grounded in my body. I return to myself and the present again and again. As we wind down this walk, come back to your breath again. Notice your body as you're walking, the steadiness of your steps, the rhythm you've created just by being here. And then notice your mind again. Thoughts might still be coming in and out, shifting, changing, doing what they do. And again, that's perfectly okay. Because what's different now is you. You're not caught in it the same way. You're not chasing every thought, trying to solve everything all at once, trying to keep up with every direction your mind wants to go. You're here. You stayed with yourself, and that's where calm actually comes from. Even when thoughts are moving, you don't have to move with them. Even when things feel unfinished or uncertain, you can still feel okay in your body. And that's something you can come back to again and again. Not just on this walk, but later today when your mind starts picking up again, when you notice yourself being pulled into something, and when that familiar pressure starts to build. You'll recognize it. And instead of going with it automatically, you'll pause, take a breath, and come back to yourself, back to your body, back to your breath, back to this feeling, and to this moment. And the more you practice that, the more natural it becomes. Not because your mind stops thinking, but because you stop needing it to. And that's where things start to feel lighter. That's where you start to feel more steady in your day, even when your mind is busy, even when things aren't fully figured out. You're still okay. You're calm. And that's the feeling I hope you carry with you when this walk ends. I'm so happy you're on this healing and growing and walking journey with me. Be sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And leaving a 5-star review helps us reach more people. You'll find helpful tools and resources linked in the show notes, along with an option to support the podcast and help keep it ad-free. And don't forget to listen to the Healing Minute this week. It's a short guided meditation that goes along with this week's walk. Well, as always, thank you so much for walking with me today here on the Healing Mile, and I'll see you on the path again soon.